This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning everyone. We continue Mishna Berura. You're up to Siman Taf Kuf Pei Vav. By the way, Siman Taf Kuf Pei Vav, which is about the laws of blowing shofar, is Gematria Shofar, says Rabbi Yaakov Emden. So the Mechaber said as follows, that if you sealed it up Shaloi B'minoi, even though it's not Ma'akiv the Tkiya after you seal it up, it's puzzle, even if you're left with Rubai. Says the Mishna Berura, even though if you don't seal it up, it's kosher according to the Mechaber. When you seal it up, it's worse. When you seal with something with she'ein aminim, you're not just hearing the sound of the shofar, rak kol shofar, the kol davar acher. You're hearing the shofar and something else. Likewise, when you seal it up with its min, and it doesn't restore it to the way it was, we hear shekol shofar zeh ino kol shel shofar rishon ela min astima. It's from a new shofar. V'astima ino betela, and the seal is not batav. Havinami kol shofar v'davar acher ma'urav. It's like the sound of the shofar with something else mixed into it. Now the Mechaber continues. If you seal up amino imnishtai ruba shalem, if the majority is shalem v'lo ikfu hanakavim shas nistamu esatkiya, and the whole is not ma'akiv the tkiya ela chazar kol kabay shahaya. It's restored to the way it was before there was a hole in it. It's kosher. If it's missing one of these ingredients, possible. Says the Mishna Berura, before there was a hova. And certainly if the sound is similar just to the kol before it was sealed up, if it's not majority remaining, pasul kol yam, it's pasul according to everyone, even if you sealed it up with its min, and its sound was like it was originally, then the shem shofar is batul, it only becomes a shofar through the steam of an imsa to have a shofar of davar acher. It comes out that it's a shofar and something else. Rubai shalem, by the length of the shofar towards its mouth. Says the Mechaber, if it's a pressing situation, there's no other shofar available, you can be machshir it if you sealed it up b'minoi, if you're left with the majority, even if the kol did not go back to what it once was. Sivkatan lamed gimel, shas hadchak v'davka shalei niskar ad yom tov. Davka, if you didn't remember until Yom Tov, the asar litol hastima, because then it's asar to take the seal, to have a ketikun kli. It's like fixing the kli, kivin shali deizeh machshir hashofar, because by doing so you're machshir the shofar. Avlam nizkar kodem Yom Tov, if you remember before Yom Tov, yital hastimai, you take away the seal. V'dinai ki'ulu lo susamai, its din is as if you didn't seal it up, the kosher, that it is kosher. Shein shofar acher matzoi, says the Mishna Berura, avam yachal lahasik shofar acher, if you could get another shofar, afim kvar taka b'shofar sheish by tartan mal yus, even though you already blow the shofar that is two good qualities, yachsav iska, you should blow again v'lo yivarach without a bracha. Yesh lahachshir, to samchina poskim l'sari, we will rely on those poskim that hold the hechad ika tarti l'tivusa, if you have two positive qualities, sagi, that's enough. I'm a prima gadim. Look in the prima gadim shekas of the nearest yuchal avarich, that it would seem you can make a bracha of frat lefi mashkas of prichadash v'agra the ikar kedei azu, especially according to what the prichadash and the gra writes, that the ikar is like this deya. The Mechaber continues. Likewise, you could be mashred if you sealed up shalav b'minah mishtar rubai, if most of it remained, and the sound was restored to the way it was. Saying the Mishna Berura, if you don't have majority shama, even if you have two good qualities, you were soisiv b'mina, and the sound was restored to being clear like it was in the beginning. It doesn't help even according to this opinion. For the reason we mentioned above, if you just have roiv, or you just have the fact that you sealed it up and now you're mesupik, did the sound, was it restored? Then you have to be machmer me'ikar din, do sveika d'oraisa. Okay. Sivches, nizdak la'arkai pasal. If it's split, crack by its length, it's pasul. Says the Mishna, Berura, nistak v'davka nistak dohilech u'moisav v'kalkama, only a crack that will continue. Aval benifgam, if it got chipped, kasher b'choshu. Kamakim ra'u kaidim hashan v'yisol b'far hashan tav yisol sakne, it's better to fix it, shlo yenira pagam, so it does not seem pagam. Siv katan, the Mechaber continues. Yesham rafil b'choshu pasul. Some say it's pasul even if it's nistak koshu. Elam kain hidku harbe b'chod b'mashicha, unless you sealed it up well with a thread or with some kind of mashicha v'nishtar shir atkiya b'makam akshiro l'mala l'tzad peh, and you're left with the shir atkiya from the place where it was fixed and above toward the mouth. Says the Mishnah Berura, pasul. Even the dafka b'nisam ever it has to be all the way through. V'yafal pisha im b'chesaron, even if it's not missing anything. V'gam lo nishtana kol, even if the sound doesn't change. B'chol shuhu pisha machmas haruach v'chazek atkiya, because of the wind blowing through it and the strength of the gas. Sadik kol chamois, if the crack will get bigger, she sadik kulai, until the whole thing will crack. Anything that's ultimately will crack is considered as if it is already. Elam kain hidkai, unless you attach it shehachud ma'amidah shlo yisbaka yoser, this chud will keep it together that it doesn't crack more. The Mechaber says you need to have the Rama added. You need that there should be remaining a shir tkir from the place so that it's connected l'tzad hapeh. So the Mishnah says many achronim are mekel filoy nishtar kozman shel nishtana kolay ayidei hahiduk. Many achronim are mekel as long as the sound did not change. L'tzad hapeh toward the mouth of chadei rishon lekamam b'siftes, and like the first opinion later on in siftes berubai mishum derubai kakulai. Because let's see the Mechaber further. It says Mechaber, some say davka berubai, only if the majority of it is cracked. Dibkai kasher, and if you glued it, it's kasher. Afilum dibkai bedavak, even if you glued it with glue. It says the Mishnah Berura, berubai mishum derubai kakulai. Afilum nizdag rak mitzarecha, even if it's only cracked on one side. Aval mlei nizdag rubai, if it's not the majority cracked. Afilum nishtar shir tkiya, even if you don't have a shir tkiya kasher. V'shas atchak, in a pressing circumstance, you should rely on this opinion. This is the ikar lahalach. If you blew a shofar that was cracked in a small part, then you found the kosher shofar, you should blow again without a bracha. And if you attached it, only with glue we're machshir have a kilu shalem. But if you attached it with this thread or with some kind of mashicha, then it will not help. Kosher. Even if the whole thing cracked except for a little bit, kosher kishadibkai, it's kosher when you attached it, says the Magen Ram and Shari Achroinim. And we will continue B'ez Hashem tomorrow in Sivkata on Memvav. Wishing everyone a great day.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.